Alright, part 2 or installment of Halloween. I am in Old Town, Manassas, Virginia. And here's the old train station, Manassas Junction. Not that it's haunted, but on a side note, this is the album cover of, I think it's of either Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, or just Crosby, Stills and Nash. I can't remember. I think it's Young, where they posed outside underneath the awning right there for the picture of the cover. So, thought that would be something cool to get. Alright, we're going to go down this way. I'm going to show you a couple of different places, some that are documented and some that are not. And it's more folklore, he said, she said type of stuff, and things that have been passed down and I'm sure has changed stories over the last couple of years. Alright, so this is the old, well now it's the Center for Fine Arts and Crafts, but this used to be an old corn and wheat and flour factory and candy factory, and of course it's right next to the train tracks here. And if you can see, the old cart factory, the two discolored areas that used to be slide chutes that would come down and fill the train cars up with wheat and flour and things like that. Supposedly this little area is haunted right here because the story is that one of the chutes that went from the building down here came loose and swung this way and decapitated one of the factory workers. So he died like right around in here with his head clean cut off. Whether you want to believe that or not, it's just a story that's been passed down, but I thought this site, among some others, I'll come around and show you. So we'll move on to a different one now. I thought that went out of business, but on a side note, this Philadelphia Tavern is one of the oldest still in business by the same owner restaurant, still operating here. This used to be called Brady's, and now it's called the Crossroads. That's still the same little place. I think it's been by the same owner for, gosh, since I can remember, back in the late 70s. Same location, same everything. Okay, so crossing the street right here, this, you can probably just see what's left of, gosh, what it used to be was the original barbershop here from the 1940s. Well, it's kind of moved over here now, but it only used to be this little area right here had one or two chairs in it. And now it's kind of moved down one and expanded, but that was the original site of it right there. And if we come down this way, so here's a story. True or not, I don't know. This is the old Opera House. You can still see it. Sign up there. Way up there says Opera. Anyway, so the thing is, if you remember in the 1880s? I guess it was. Jack the Ripper from the Whitechapel. After a certain amount of time in the fall of, God, was it 1888? All the crimes stopped. He was never caught. And then 5 months later, down this alleyway, there was 3 murders of the same type of origin. You know, the body mutilations and, body cut up and with precise cuttings and things like that. A lot of them were saying that Jack the Ripper escaped Whitechapel and came to the U.S. and, you know, settled here to continue his murders and stuff down this is called Opera Alley. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's the folklore here. Now these are all very expensive apartments, but supposedly this alleyway's haunted also, because there was one, I'm not sure you can see it, right there's a manhole cover. Of course there wasn't at that time, but around that area was one, and then around the corner happened 2 others. And again, never was caught. So let's move to some other places. Okay, so this is the Old Town Motor Inn. You can do like weekly room rates here and stuff like that. These are usually for like construction workers or migrant construction workers that would rent rooms out here. And when there's Rolling Thunder, this is all full from motorcycle people. But this is well documented also. So it's either, I think it's this room or that room, or it's on the other side, is haunted by a ghost, I think by the name of Lucy. And I think you can look up, get more detail on it for Old Town Manassas Motor Lodge haunting or Motor Lodge ghost. But I know I think it was like room 54 or 52, even though I don't see the room numbers on here any longer. So, yeah, I don't even see the room plaques on here anymore. But I can't remember, I think it was up here. I think it was one of those 2 rooms up there. So, that's documented, you can look that one up. So, this place used to be an old church. And it's funny because you got, that used to be a church, there's a church right here, and then another church right over here. So 3 within 1 block. But this also used to be a, back in the 70s and 80s, a very fine dining French restaurant. And that's about, like I said, the only thing the French can do right is cook. But right here at the bottom of the steps on the far side, try crossing the street here when I can. Was a robbery turned double murder. Down here? I can't remember. I think it was right in here somewhere. But it turned out to be a mafia hit. Mafia used to be pretty prevalent here in Northern Virginia with, I think it was called the Giacomo family. G-A-I-M-A-C-O, something like that. And they used to run all this area. So apparently there was a hit right here also, and then of course some people say they see the apparitions of the murdered people. I think it was just I think it was 2 men. They said it was a robbery, but I think it was more of a mafia hit than anything else. I'll take you to one more place here. Okay, so right over this way, I think it's either in that lot right here, or over here where those people are just passing right now, what used to be an old graveyard. I think it was this lot over here. I'll go down and check out the other place, but this way about maybe a quarter mile, if that, is a place called Annaberg Manor. And it used to be a summer retreat for, I think, was it Grover Cleveland? Or something, I have to look that up. But one of the presidents used to use Annaberg Manor as a summer retreat. And before that, it used to be like a hospital for typhoid people, or was it after that? I think it was after that. It was a hospital for typhoid or something like that. And the graveyard for the place used to be there or back here behind these two houses, which weren't here at the time. But I do think it was back at that other lot. There's supposed to be some type of marker somewhere. It's got to be back at that other lot. Something like a little circular marker that used to mark the place for it. The bodies were all exhumed and moved over to another area, but supposedly there was hauntings around there too. Let me go back and see if there was over at that place. Alright, come back over to this little area right here. I know the circular thing is not the manhole cover. Shoot, it might have been paved over by this patio. Just give a quick scan here. I don't see anything, but I do think it was here though. Is that it over there? I don't think I can get back in here. Or I should be allowed back in here, but I think it's like right. I can't see it, but it's like right there. Inside that dirt area. I think that's it. So this whole lot marked the old graveyard for Annaberg Manor. It's on section of Battle Street and Church Street in Old Town Manassas. All right, I've rambled on enough. All right, so there's your installment of Part 2 Halloween. Later, all.